What? No more visitor parking in all new condominium in Singapore? Did I hear that right? Hi everyone, this is Casey here from Home Quarters in Singapore. And at Home Quarters, we specialize in customized marketing strategy that properly expose your unit for sale and also correctly advise you on the purchase on your next dream home. If this is your first time here on this channel and you will like to know how we help sellers like you to sell their unit through our customized marketing strategy, guide buyers to purchase their dream home, and advise investors to make the right investment decision here in Singapore, then start now by subscribing to this channel and tap that little bell icon so you'll get notified every time we here at Home Quarters do a new video. We love to see the happy faces of our client when they manage to achieve their objective, and we make it a seamless, fast-free experience. So make sure you visit homequarters.com.sg. Send us an email, homequarterssg@gmail.com, or however you want to get a hold of us, because we are here to help. Today we will discuss the new ruling by Land Transport Authority (LTA) that will phase out visitor parking lot moving forward, called the Range-Based Parking Provision Standard (RPPS). What is the impact on car park spaces in new launches in Singapore? And also, what is the impact then on this new ruling on older condominium in Singapore? Before we dive deep into the impact, we first have to know what is in LTA's new Range-Based Parking Provision Standard. Right, the revised parking standard will replace the existing car parking standard and range-based car parking standard from 1st of February 2019. It is done so to be in line with Singapore's move towards a car-light society and also allowing developers greater flexibility in managing parking spaces according to the needs of the development, especially in regions that are very well connected to the current public transport system, and thus allowing for more spaces to be freed up for greenery and communal use. The new standard will specify the range of the car parking provision, such as parking space for car, motorcycle, bicycle, and also other specific lots such as coach for hotels and loading-unloading bay for commercial development that private developers are allowed to provide, which will vary according to location, zone, and land use. Unlike the previous standard, which provide a minimum parking provision and need the developers to write in to have LTA's approval to reduce the parking provision of up to 20% below the minimum standard. For some developments, the RPPS allow for the developers flexibility to determine the desired level of parking provision within the range without the need to seek for LTA's approval. However, if the developer will want to build less than or more than the specified range of car parking provision, then the application will still have to be evaluated by LTA on a case-by-case basis. Developers might face penalties of 16,000 charges for each car parking space or 5,500 for each motorcycle parking space if they go either above or below the range they are allowed. This is interesting as LTA move towards capping of the parking space rather than just stipulating a minimum number of parking provision previously. This move is seen as a greater emphasis on reducing the amount of car overall and also encouraging public to commute via public transport and bicycle as a new standard. Also specify mandatory bicycle parking requirement. So what is the impact on a new condominium that is affected by this new RPPS? Under the RPPS, the lower and upper bound for car park spaces in residential development is 50 to 80% of the total dwelling units in the development in Zone 1, and also 80 to 100% of the total dwelling unit in the development outside Zone 1. Zone 1 is defined as Central Business District and Marina Bay. Except for car-light precinct, what this means is that usually buyers of private condominium expect to have at least one car park space in their condominium for their own use. There wouldn't be enough to provide for additional car park space for visitor, even for condominium outside of Zone 1, not to say for buyers that are purchasing a unit in Zone 1. Does it really impact the actual owner profile? They are currently staying in Zone 1 or otherwise? Let us take a look. Based on experience, the condominium in Zone 1 usually exercise a paid parking system to reduce the number of parking space to residences that needs it, and thus willing to pay for it even for condominium that have a 1-to-1 ratio of car park lot to units. Being so close to the city center, a lot of the owners and tenants does not need a car too. That will leave space for bigger unit owners that could have a need for 1 or 2 car lots, which they pay to the management agent that is then added into the maintenance fund and sinking fund. This is not the first time car park space is in the spotlight. From 2005 onwards, developers of new condominium that is built within 400 meters of a train station is allowed to reduce the car park space to only 80% of the number of units in the condominium. Home Quarters have visited a few of the developments and found that the car park lot space is not fully taken up as well. This might be due to the condominium being heavily tenanted, and majority of the tenants and even residents who choose a space nearer to the train station do not actually own a car. This transition will take time to be generally accepted, and people will adapt to the fewer parking spaces in new condominium moving forward. Not only will the new ruling affect new condominium, we think that it will definitely affect older condominium built before the new parking standard too. If the buyers are looking for condominium that will allow them to park 2 or even 3 cars in the condominium itself without paying for the additional car park lot, then they might turn towards buying older condominium such as Mandarin Gardens that have about 1,500 parking spaces for its 1,000 residential units. They are definitely enough for guests and visitors to park come festive season such as Chinese New Year, Hari Raya visiting, and Christmas. This will become a selling point for older property with ample parking space. Another type of property that might attract more attention will be the strata property with their own lots. Usually they come with 2 parking spaces and are right outside the door of the unit. This will save the owners the hassle of walking long distance from the lot where they park or competing with neighbors for parking spaces. On the situation on second car parking lot charge, if buyers buy into a condominium unaware of the second car park charge, they can create unwanted tension between themselves and the management council, as reflected by the incident in 2010 where police had to be called in twice to intervene on matter relating to additional car parking lot. There will most likely be more new rules or bylaws set up by each individual management committee of the condominium to have a mutually agreed upon way to resolve the parking situation, and there sure will be teething issues such as those seen in the viral video that surfaced October 2019, where a resident at 8 River Street condominium hurled vulgarity at the security officer over a condominium rule that required guests to pay $10 for parking after 11 p.m. We at Home Quarters think it will take time for Singapore to fully embrace being a car-light city, to take public transportation, or to make cycling a mainstream transport option, and also to integrate it as part of the culture and way of life of all the residents living in the city-state. Now that you know about the range-based parking provision standard, what will be the impact on car park spaces in new launches in Singapore, and also what might be the impact of this new ruling on old condominium in Singapore? Do you support the push by the government towards a car-light nation? And is parking spaces important in your decision to purchase your next dream home? Sit down with Home Quarters to go through your current needs and wants for the property to purchase next before you decide on where to buy, what to buy, at what price to buy, what is the parking charges and situation in the condominium by going over to homequarters.com.sg or send us an email at homequarterssg@gmail.com or direct message us at homequarterssg on Facebook or Instagram. Reach out to us however way you like, and we will love to help you find the next dream home. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and comment down below what other topics will you want us to cover next. We will be monitoring the comments, so make sure you comment down below. The title of the next video could be the one that you suggested. We here at Home Quarters do a ton of video about Singapore real estate, tips and tricks for sellers, buyers and investors, and loads of other valuable, insightful videos, and we are going to continue doing it. Make sure you are subscribed so you are notified every time we do a new video. Check out the previous video we have made big condo or landed property. that share with you the consideration between similar 4 to 5 bedrooms condo versus landed property in Singapore. Or check out our other playlist, Closing Thoughts, where we chat with our client about their experience with home quarters after the purchase or sale of their home by us. Alright, see you on the next episode. If this is your first time here and
we have written an article at our website, homequarters.com.sg, under the editorial tab accompanying this video regarding car parking spaces in new condominium moving forward. Do check out the article. Link is in the description below.
Alright, thank you for watching our video. Do remember to check out our other videos, and we have left the link in the description below. Thank you.